One receiver to the left is Evans. Second down, Winston. And he rifles one incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion. On third down, Winston. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now fourth down. On fourth down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. Travis Carey back deep for the Raiders. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. And tough starting field position here. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Hey, well, we have a second. Let's give that interesting stat that our crew dug up for 4-3 versus 3-4 teams. 48% of teams that start out 4-3 make the playoffs. Just 17% of 3-4 squads.
That's almost daunting, isn't it? But let's take a quick look at it with the teams that are 4-3 and 3-4. So if you're 4-3, some teams that I'm really keeping an eye on towards making a playoff drive, Pittsburgh. When they get Big Ben back, look out. They're extremely dangerous. And another one may surprise you, the Detroit Lions. They've won their last 3 in exciting fashion, and Matt Stafford's playing really, really well. Out of the 3-4 teams, San Diego, they were so snake bit early. Now they've won 2 in a row. Keep a strong eye out for them. And last but not least, Cincinnati. They know how to win. It's time for them to crank things up.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a run with Martin. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles.
Third and long for Winston. He's got Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 40 yards. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. They go back to the air here after the INT on the left. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brent Grimes. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Jameis blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for their offensive guys.
They'll run. It's Rodgers. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They go back to the air here after the INT. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got a hot minute here, partner. Let's talk about the Seattle-Arizona game a little bit. A 6-6 tie. And a lot of people was it bad offense? No, I thought it was excellent defense in that game.
Boy, whatever it was, offense was at a premium. Lowest scoring tie in NFL history since OT was added. How about that?
Well, the last time they had a tie, wasn't that Carolina and Cincinnati? And it was the highest scoring tie in NFL history since they changed the rules. Pretty impressive. And one more crazy fact. The Cardinals franchise has played 5 6-6 ties in franchise history.
Well, they get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
We ready? Red 18!
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's complete to Walford. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Every quarterback likes having a reliable target at tight end, and I think young quarterbacks especially, because they want to get the ball in their hands quickly. I think these two, Derek Carr and Clive Walford, That's a pretty good connection for years to come for Oakland.
Yeah, he started to come on strong end of his rookie year. Now the Raiders really hoping for that second-year jump out of Walford. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
All right, here we go.
Carr to throw on second down. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Second down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Carr. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
All right, here we go. Red 18.
On a delay of game there, they could not get the playoff in time.
Frustrating for the head coach. Frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
Here's Marquette King now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Taken in at the 11. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, Charles, during our production meeting yesterday, the topic of MVP came up, and you listed a couple guys you see up at the top of the heap. Who do you have?
Well, it is an election year, right? So I'm going with a ticket for a couple of these, all right? Julio Jones, wide receiver, Matt Ryan, quarterback in Atlanta. Running back Ezekiel Elliott, quarterback Dak Prescott in Dallas. But I think the guy that's probably been overlooked has been Mr. Do-It-All, Mr. Versatility, David Johnson in Arizona.
Boy, he's been good. 681 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns already. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Carr throwing on second down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They come out here in the eye. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep for Crabtree. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Chris Conte. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drop. And Wentz together on this drop.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Michael Crabtree, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And they still need 10 yards here to find pay dirt. It's second and goal from the 10. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
When that works, your offensive coordinator looks like a genius. When it doesn't, at least folks saying, what are you doing? Down here, I'd rather have my tailback running off tackle than something off the radar like this.
On third and long, it's Carr. And he's going to be taken down. He's sacked on the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on fourth and goal. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. A disappointing drop there on fourth and goal. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. He's going to go up top again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
He's got time. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
try it here. He's back to throw. Here's Wolford over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 28 yards on that one. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on 4th and long. Here's Carr. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr going deep for his tight end, Rivera. He was looking for his tight end that time, Michael Rivera. 3rd down here.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation shows for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
Carr. Cooper's got it. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go. Red 18. Red 18.
Now, Carr again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time, and it's 3rd down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And that brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. Zero.
Carr to throw for it on 4th down. He's going to take another shot here. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jihad Ward in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And what they're challenging here is the spot of the ball, and this is probably the hardest challenge to win.
So difficult because the speed of the game, the angles of the cameras, your angle from the sideline watching the play can often fool you into thinking that the ball should be placed in a different spot.
And Brake has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, and he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Gerald McCoy coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
All right, here we go. 1 and 8. 1 and 8.
On second down, here's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it into his receiver, Cooper, and it's third down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that is incomplete. And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession. And to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
So out come the Raiders. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the number 1 head set up?
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man, complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. 1 receiver to the left is Cooper.
All right, here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
All right, here we go.
Carr will try it again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.